Hi everyone. Well, today's video is the new tea of the month. So thanks to Patrick, who sent me this lovely calendar, as well as the mouse pad has labeled the GBB as the tea of the month. This is a picture of a spiderling. And it's been a while since I last uploaded my specimen, and a lot of people are wondering if I even still have her. Yes, I have her. I just haven't been featured her in much of my videos because she hasn't been eating for the past couple of weeks. Yeah, she's really picky, and she actually might be into pre-molt, so that's a definite possibility since she molted, I think, was it 1 or 2 years ago. So here's the update video of the guinea pigs, since I like to film them. Haley's eating, and there's Leah, the Abyssinian, and that's the Silky. Cool. So before I get on to the meat and potatoes of the video, shoutouts go to Martin KV81, the Mr. Jasper Apps, MJ Entomology, and the Patsnick65. I'll include their links to their channel on my video description, so if you like it, just subscribe to them. Okay, so we have some good news and bad news. Well, the bad news is that the Scolopendra centipede has passed away, and I absolutely have no idea why she died. She ate perfectly fine during the feeding video, and I just noticed yesterday her dead body, and it really sucks. So I even called Angelo, the guy who sold me the centipede, and he was having a very, very similar problem with the centipede. I don't know what it could be. Maybe I could have used better ventilation. But it was certainly very moist in there, but I'm not going to give up on a centipede. I still have the blue ring centipede here, the Esmotigmus trichonopodus, still doing well. And I'm actually going to spray the substrate because it looks pretty dry. It's been dry for the past couple of days here because it's pretty cold outside. Now, but the good news, you're really going to like this. I'm actually going to get a new tea. So I got a gift certificate of $100 from this lovely couple in Austin, Texas. And what they say is that they wanted to thank me for putting my hard work into my collection. They remember the days of working hard to pay for college and always being nearly broke. I can certainly relate to that because university and college aren't exactly very cheap. And thanks for being a terrific help with our collection. My pleasure. And words can't describe how thankful I am to receive this gift certificate. It will certainly go into good use, and I'm actually going to buy a rare tea. But I'm not going to release any information until I confirm it's still available. So thank you so much, Lauren and Gus, for this lovely gift certificate. I'm actually going to name this tea after you guys. So I went to Tarantula Canada. Well, I actually called them up to see if it was available, and sure enough, it is available. So it's been a while since I last bought a Panthobeteus, and one is going to return for my collection. I used to have an Antinous and 2 Platyama, but unfortunately those passed away. So I am buying... Where is it? P. ultramarinus. That's what they look like. Pink and purple highlights, my favorite, and it's black too. It probably won't get as big as a Platyama, but it's sure going to look an impressive addition to my collection. Sweet. So the most commonly question that I get asked on my YouTube channel is 2 of them. What would you recommend as a new beginner tarantula? Even though I posted a good one about 3 years ago, I felt that I'm going to need to make an update of it, so I'll be uploading that one tomorrow. But today, this is where my GBB is going to come in. What are the heaviest web builders in my collection? So if you have been watching my channel for the past couple of years, you probably have some idea of what webbers that I have in my collection. So I'll show you a quick overview of some of them. Okay, so this is the very first webber in my collection that I'd like to share. as featured in the recent feeding video. This is my OBT, Trinidad Murinus RCF, or red color form. As you can see, my female is over here, Carmela. She is a 5-inch female, and she went pretty nice. It's really strange because the first 2 years that I've actually owned her, she used to stay in her coconut husk and just not move. And that's why you haven't seen any videos of her in the past. But I can say OBTs are very good web builders. And this is something I would not recommend to a first-time buyer just because of their severe aggression. Because OBTs are very highly defensive to even aggressive. And they are lightning fast. But it's a very cool species that gets up to having a 6 to 7 inch leg span. Not bad, and pretty simple to care for. Alright, now on to my second webber. Number 2. This is another web builder of mine. This is a Avicularia laeta, the Puerto Rican Pinktoe. A lot of Avics do web, but this is the one that webs the most in my collection. This is around a 2.5 inch female. I've had her ever since she was a 1/2 inch and has been doing very well. Okay, the third tarantula that is a serious web builder in my collection is none other than my green bottle blue, Chromatopelma cyaneopubescens. So let's have a look at my female. Many people are going to enjoy seeing this specimen after a long hiatus of her being unseen in my videos. But this is what she looks like. Green bottle blue. They go from that as a spiderling, and they morph into this incredibly cool looking species with royal blue legs, a dark green carapace, and orange abdomen. Extremely easy to take care of, and I do recommend this for a beginner. Probably not as a first one, but maybe like your second or third one. Very easy to take care of, and they're just great to own. The only thing I don't recommend is handling this species because they are very nervous. But definitely one of the most heaviest web builders that I've seen in tarantulas. And tarantulas usually rarely make webs. The only time you'll actually see them making webs is when they molt. But in this video I'm showing you exactly which ones are one of the craziest web builders. And this is one of them. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is not a tarantula. It's actually a Megillah Morph. Many of you are familiar with the species since I owned some in the past. I used to own another one. But any of the Linothele genus of Megillah Morphs, these are known as the Diplurids. And you can see a very, very serious webber. The one shown here is a Linothele megatheloides. And also you can get a similar one known as the L. Phalax, which kind of has like tiger rump patterns on the abdomen. And they'll web as serious as this. Can't get any better than that, that's for sure. Now another T that webs is one of the best communal species out there. And again, this is a tarantula that you haven't seen in my channel for quite some time. Again, I think she's in pre-molts. But here is a Holothele incei, the Trinidad Olive, and this will be the subject of Mythbuster video 47. 46 will be this guy right here, the Uligostere diamantensis. Very nice. And you can actually put as many as 15, 20 of them in a appropriate sized tank, and they're going to do awesome. I know Tarantula Canada actually is currently having a sack of the species, and I've seen the little babies. They're tiny, and they let And she let it hatch it with the mother, and they're doing well. Okay, another one that's not as serious web builders, but it's pretty cool nonetheless, is the Brazilian blue dwarf beauty, the Oligoxystre diamantensis. Very similar to the GBB, except it does like a little bit more moisture than the GBB. This one here is Ocean, and she's a female. Sweet. Okay, next guy. Okay, oh yeah. How could I not forget this species right over here? This is probably the most serious web builder, more than my GBB, and almost as good as my OBT, is any of the Chilobrachy species. And this one here is my C. guanaceensis, the Chinese fawn. She is a 5.5 inches, almost full grown. These guys get up to having a 7-inch leg span. She's in a 6-liter shoebox enclosure, which seems to do very well. And you can see she's a very happy tea. She loves to make her home, and she's making full use of her enclosure. And there we go. Not the most prettiest color ones, but definitely a very good looking species. And I think all of the Chilobrachy species does do some crazy webbing like this. Yeah, and I own a Fimbriatus, but unfortunately that passed away a couple of years ago. But yeah, I'm happy with this one. It's a nice one. Then again, so that is the Chinese fawn, scientifically called the Chilobrachy guanaceensis. Okay. Let's see what else does crazy webs. I did go over this one. I have my odd rose here that has some webbings, but generally most of them don't web as much as that. So she's kind of an odd specimen. Then again, individuals do vary, so cannot stress this enough. You have your Virdasius species, Madagascar fishing spider, that do like to web a lot. She's hiding there. Some of the Tapinauchenius species, like your Gigas, they do web. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see this one. A little mold growing in there. I have to clean that out. Basically, they like to burrow as juveniles, but when they are adult size, they like to hang out about their enclosure. I'll show you my Sancti Evangelii mother that gave me a nice healthy sack of 100. She's been webbing like crazy. Huh. I wonder why. I believe she molted. Let's have a fast look at the species. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh wow, she's actually really pretty. Yeah, there's the molt somewhere in there. And usually when teas molt like profuse web build like that, that's sure imminent sign of a molt. Hopefully I'll get her on video when she comes out. She's actually a really pretty color for a Tapinauchenius. They're pretty much like your Avicularia versicolor, but really on the defensive side. Now some of the pokies do web, in fact. I have one that's kind of webbed her enclosure. Not very much, but my Saphusca Highland. But another cool webber is some of the African arboreals, like your Stromatopelma calceatum, the Featherleg Baboon. Here's my Featherleg, S. calceatum. And H. maculata. And again, it does depend on your enclosure and what you use, but as you probably saw in my video, there's my adult female that you saw eat that superworm with no problem. She's not a very good web builder, but here's my other one named Libby. I've had her since 2007 as a half-inch spiderling, and she's over 4.5 inches. I don't really show much videos of her because she's always hiding, and that doesn't make a good video, but there's another species that does heavy webbing. As you can see. It's pretty crazy. And also a nice Stromatopelma that webs a lot is your Stromatopelma pulcher Panama Blonde. Unfortunately, I don't have a female anymore because it recently passed away. So once again, that's my video of the craziest web builders of my collection. So we have Heteroscodra maculata, the Featherleg Baboon, Chilobrachys guanaceensis, the Chinese fawn, Chromatopelma cyaneopubescens, green bottle blue. Some of the Avic species, my laeta certainly has webbed the most out of my 4 that I own. Some Tapinauchenius species like the Geekus and the Sancti Vincenti, as well as these other ones. The Oligoxystre diamantensis, the Brazilian Dwarf Blue Beauty, which we'll see a Mythbuster video of this one tomorrow. Holothele incei, the Trinidad Olive, in my opinion one of the best communal species out there. Abby, she is a 2.5 inch full grown female, so she's good in this enclosure. Very, very fast tea. And I believe that's it, as well as any of the Linothele species, like your megatheloides or the phallux, which seem to be the most common ones. So I do hope you enjoy this video, everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll make a separate video on the Entripepi.